and show to the world that there is such a benefit of being a homemaker in terms of our own homes, but also in terms of blessing our communities. Hello, lovely feminine friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I would love it if you would join our community of feminine women who enjoy homemaking and of course growing in our femininity by hitting that red subscribe button down below. If you are returning here for another video and you're watching me again, I wanted to say thank you so much. Your support for this channel and really this movement of women who enjoy homemaking and femininity is so inspiring to me, and it continues to push me to want to create more videos for you. If you are here watching it the day that it goes live, and I guess later, even if you're watching it later, please hit that like button, because since we are still a small channel, it really helps get our message out there and attract more subscribers. If you hear some sounds in the background, I just want to let you know that we are undergoing renovations. This is my reality because it's kind of in the line of work that my husband does, so I can't escape the renovation sounds. Ever since we began the new year, I have kind of been on this homemaking kick. I have really wanted to try to be the best homemaker that I can possibly be. This video is created for all different types of homemakers. The women who aspire to be full-time homemakers, the women who are part-time homemakers, and basically anybody who's interested in homemaking. I am going to start with the more superficial elements that will help you become successful as a homemaker, and then I want you to stay tuned till the end of the video because we will proceed into the more, I guess, hardcore topics of how you can be a successful homemaker. So without further ado and trying to get my intro shorter, I'm going to start with number one. This concerns the topic of distractions. I want you to know when to use distractions and when to minimize your distractions. Distractions can be so helpful when we're trying to do mundane tasks, because mundane tasks are pretty boring. If you are the type of person that absolutely detests laundry, I have mentioned this in the past, but use that time to kind of distract yourself. Maybe that would be the opportunity that you watch that Netflix show while you fold the laundry, or you listen to that podcast. Distractions can really help you get on top of all the things you need to do in your home. Going off that topic, I want you to think about the big picture of distractions. Distractions really in the age of social media are everywhere, and you want to kind of minimize your social media use or anything else in your surroundings that is going to cause you to be more distracted on an everyday basis. I'm not going to lie to you, making YouTube videos and having this kind of online presence has been distracting to me in a certain way, and I have had to put my phone physically aside or create a social media schedule for myself. We live in a day and age where our brains are honestly so overstimulated. And this is really detrimental because I don't know about you, but for me, this rises my anxiety. This also causes for me to continuously compare my life to other homemakers. I am not one for cutting out all of the comparisons. I actually think that there are some deep-rooted issues that you need to deal with if you are continuously comparing yourself to somebody else. However, I do think that it is healthy to limit the times where we, I guess, are exposed to that instance where we might compare ourselves. I've also heard from a lot of you that you have this tendency to want to go out and buy new things, and I really think that this could be due to continuously consuming social media. So my suggestion in terms of that distraction for you is to actually structure and give yourself specific times during the day where you will look at your phone. The next thing I want you to do, and I've continuously advocated on my channel, is I want you to view homemaking as a job. Homemaking really is whatever you put into it. The more that you view homemaking as a job, the more fulfillment you will get from it. Just like any job, just like any career, you're going to want to have goals. I shared with you some of my 2020 homemaking goals, and I'm going to link that video above so that you can go check it out and hopefully get inspired. I also think if you are limiting your social media time and you are consuming it in a healthy moderation, the online community of feminine women and feminine homemakers can really help inspire you to create your own homemaking goals. I think as women, one of the most powerful things that we can do is actually to be positively influenced by other women. Women are very community oriented. Remember, we talked about the feminine being very focused on creating relationships. Step into the homemaking community, search for things that other people are doing, try to create your own goals based off of that. If you are continuously doing the same thing every day, which you probably will be with homemaking because it's a very repetitive job, you are going to want to implement some goals to kind of spice up that routine. Which brings me to my next point where I talk about finding your homemaking thing. Several months ago, I talked about your homemaking thing, how you really want to find that thing that makes you happy to be a homemaker. Do you like to bake? Do you like to sew? What do you like to do? Just like we wouldn't expect a career woman to do it all in her job, you don't have to like every single thing about homemaking. Your goals will probably also be centered on your homemaking thing, and that is perfectly normal. You don't want to neglect the things that aren't your homemaking thing. I'm saying that a lot. I guess take a chug of your coffee every time that I say homemaking thing. But just like any other job, there are going to be parts that you feel more joy from, and those are the things that I would consider your homemaking thing. Take a chug of your coffee right now. The next point that I want to talk to you about is time management. You need to have a good time management. This will also go back to inspiring you to kind of motivate you to be a better homemaker. I talked about in my laziness video that allotting yourself certain chunks of time to do certain things are going to help you get those things done. What I mean by that is you might allot yourself 20 minutes to vacuum your whole home every 2 days. If you do not get the vacuuming done in that 20 minutes, don't beat yourself up and let it go. You need to move on to the next thing. I've heard some people call this chunking of times. This is something that you can really actually seek expert advice in knowing how to prioritize and knowing how to schedule your time. If you are anything like me, you have a mind that is really all over the place and you want to get so many things done at one time. This is not possible, even if you are a homemaker that has no children and you really have those 8 to 12 hours in the day to get all of your tasks done. You still need to allot yourself certain periods of time. This is going to help you get over those mundane tasks as well, because you're just going to tell yourself, okay, I have half an hour to fold all this laundry. You're going to be more efficient because you know you want to get it all done and you don't want it to drag on into the next day. And then you're going to be able to pair that with the next block of time to perhaps focus on your homemaking thing. Now, we are getting into the more important topics, in my opinion, on how you can be a successful homemaker. And I want to encourage you to bless others. We do have this type of flexible schedule as homemakers if you are a full-time homemaker. If we want to really inspire the next generation of women to view homemaking as just as good of a job as any other career, we have the opportunity to reach out to other people because we do have a type of flexibility in our schedule. Even if you have young children and you have to stay in your home a majority of the time, you can take some of your extra time to perhaps cook an extra meal and hand it to a neighbor or somebody in need. If you do not have children, you might have the extra time to perhaps work on a certification, perhaps tutor some children, perhaps volunteer at your church or your community. These are things that I actually do, and I want to show them to you in some vlogs, but I have to kind of structure it in a way where I'm not giving out my exact location, if you understand what I'm saying. So I'm hoping in the next few months to show you that I actually do a lot of other things. I don't just sit around all day and make YouTube videos, although there was a troll who came on here and told me that I did. If you are somebody though that is very burdened and you have a lot of things to do in your home, again, going back to if you have children, or you might be a homemaker that does have a lot of homemaking tasks, or you have a specific disability, do not take this as me telling you that you are not doing enough. But if you are a homemaker that has structured her time and you find that you do have blocks of time that you could do extra things, I really encourage you to find some ways that you can bless others. This really is a movement of many women going back to homemaking, and I really think that maybe it's just my personality type, but I think that we should really get out there and show to the world that there is such a benefit of being a homemaker in terms of our own homes, but also in terms of blessing blessing our communities. And the last one is the most important. I told you I saved it for the end, and that is your homemaking why. Just like in any career, you need to find your why. Why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why do you want to be a homemaker? I've also mentioned this in my emotional intelligence video, how to be intelligent as a feminine woman, that it's really helpful to get to the root of your emotions and your reasons for acting a certain way by continuously asking yourself a series of questions. For example, you might have the superficial reason of wanting to be a vintage homemaker, getting your inspiration from vintage homemaking, but I guarantee that that's actually not your why. You want to ask yourself, why do I want to be a vintage homemaker? And perhaps that will lead you to the reason that I am really inspired by the way that they organize their time so effectively. Then you take that answer and you ask yourself, why do I believe that it's so inspiring to manage your time so effectively? And that will lead you to the answer, because I want to spend more time with my family. Then you ask yourself again, why do you want to spend more time with your family? Because I believe that family is the most important thing in my life, and that will give you the answer of that is your why, because your value is that you want to spend more time with your family. Does that make sense? For me, it is having the freedom to support my husband in his busy and unpredictable schedule, and this is because I have the value of wanting to create a relationship, a dynamic that is centered around traditional roles. Moreover, this is going to really help you kind of push away the backlash that maybe you are receiving as a homemaker. I'm not the first person on the internet to talk about this topic, but once you understand the reason why you are doing homemaking, you will feel a greater sense of justification to yourself, and it's going to be easier to kind of push away those negative comments that come at you. Because unless you live in a community where homemaking is very valuable, and these communities are far and few, you probably are going to have a backhanded comments, even by the people who love you, that are going to make a comment about housewives, stay-at-home moms, and these things do not bother me anymore, because I actually understand the reason why I am homemaking and why I desire this lifestyle. This is going to give you, again, emotional resilience, because you're going to be rooted in your values, because you're going to have asked yourself the question, why do I want to be a homemaker? And I wanted to give you some encouragement by telling you that this might not be an easy process. This might take you some time, so be gentle on yourself. It's okay if this takes you a while to be able to reject that societal narrative and kind of ignore it. I'm at a point where I can just ignore it, and that is okay if it takes you a while to get to that point. I have just recently, I guess it would be about a year, that I confidently was able to tell people that I am a homemaker, or I stay home when people ask me what I do. Before, I used to characterize myself by every little extra thing that I would do. For example, if I was taking an online course, or for example, if I was doing a little tutoring, I would qualify myself as a tutor, for example, even though I really was only doing that for about 1 hour or 3 hours every few days, and that actually wasn't what I was. There is so much value in being a homemaker. People actually hire household managers, women who have high power careers, and I don't blame them, because they want to be on top of whatever they're doing, and they want to also take care of their home. But just recognize, I guess, that you are valuable because you do provide a lot of service. I'm going to finish the video there, and I hope that you find my videos on homemaking inspirational. Please hit the like button so that we can continue to grow the community of online homemakers. I've said it before, I'm not the only person on the internet talking about homemaking, and we really need all of your comments. We really need all of your support to help grow this movement. I would love to know how you have become, or how you think you can become, a successful homemaker in the comment section down below, and I look forward to our next video. I love you all. I will see you next time.